Alright, welcome back to another stream. And so, for today's stream, I am current to do. So, the stream title is learning how to set up TI-CD for adamantite. I don't know too much about it. I think one second, I'm gonna grab my sorry, that's loud. Okay. So I have a general idea, or maybe a little bit, of what CI/CD is. I know it stands for continuous integration and continuous deployment. And I only thought about doing this because I vaguely remember AI bringing it up, right? So sorry, GitHub. I'm gonna go to GitHub real quick. And if we look at the project here, there is something called actions. And this is to build, test, and deploy your code, make some reviews and stuff like that. So I'd have to learn a little bit about this, and I don't know too much about this. I don't know what goes on into making a GitHub workflow. And I think I only want to do this because, so in our tags inside the releases, I have to manually create this every single time. And I want there to be a way to manually do this, right? So whenever I'm done with whatever features I'm adding to the dev branch, which currently I could probably release, I want to have this continuous deployment feature where I can just merge dev into main, release a new thing into my publish this to the crates.io. So I would need to figure out what exactly needs to be done, right? So currently, sorry, I'm at a book. I don't know how to leave this. There we go. Okay. And I have my little notes here. I would prefer I need to have a setup because I do have Zernal or external PPP where we can take notes so you can kind of see what I'm writing in my thought process, but we'll figure that out later. So I guess I'll kind of type it out here. Alright, so see adamantite, and then why am I never It seems like I accidentally uploaded the notes directory, but I think if I had this git commit update because I'm gonna push skit ignores tracking these notes. Okay, here I have some notes on adamantite. I guess there's no way to not remove these notes. It is what it is. Okay, but so whenever's and so here, right? Whenever we want to do a deployment, what exactly happens? So if I do a git, wait, end of docket, ignore. I don't know, but whenever I do a deployment, right, I create a tag. So I think what exactly needs to be done for this CI/CD pipeline. If that's, and this is me doing like, and I'm gonna do this in 10 minutes because I've been reading something regarding like a timer, and then I'll just use DuckDuckGo to start this timer. So on this timer, I want to create a high-level overview of how this is going to work, and we're going to learn how to set up some sort of CI/CD pipeline within GitHub, which I believe is through GitHub Actions, right? So create a new version within cargo.toml. Then I want to create a new tag for release in Git. Push that tag to origin. And before this, I need to merge dev branch into main. And then yes, merge dev branch into main. Push that tag to origin. Tag should look like version 0. 2.x. Push that tag to origin. Then there's a few commands that need to be done because I'm making, if we go to cd target, cd dist, we need to create this. So we need to do a cargo publish, cargo build dash release. From there, I want to make dir and it should be adamantite dash, and then the current, I'm gonna say v, and then in here current version dash, and then unknown Linux GNU.tar. Now we want to make this. Then I want to copy this guy's target. Let's target release. And then I want to copy target release adamantite. To there. 1, 2, I think that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. And then I want to copy, I think I want to copy the readme. readme.md. And then I want to copy, I want to say the license, and then adamantite. There, right? Once we copy all that, I need to do, I believe it's tar dash z. I forget. I forget. It's like a tar command. Tar dash xvf. Create file verbose. Operation mode, the options, create, extract. Create tar gz. Yes, I want to create a compressed archive. So I want to create that. So it should be zzf. A compressed archive. Yes. So tar, and in this case zzf. And then, it'd be adamant v to the end, paste, go to the end, GNU, and this should be tar.gz, and then the file location, so it could be that again. And then once that's there, I think I need to compress. I also need to, oh yeah, and then the release. Sorry, I'm looking at a message. Then within GitHub, we create the release. We create the release where we select it, and then we know we need to generate the new I think it's SHA-256. And then so boom, yes. So we want to do SHA-256, I believe, right? I forget. We can do yes. So we will even, I'm not entirely sure what current to do but we will create the SHA-256 sum this case could be V and then or V to the yank, paste, and then 256 sums. Then the GitHub release will have these files, and that would be, file 1, the v1, and then v to the end, yank, paste, and then boom, and then I guess we have to it'll release all this, and then I will go and set the new updates on the release. It should also and when timer's about to go off, it should also run cargo publish. So I think that's what we gotta do. Oh, we pause that, bro. That's gonna be loud. Okay. So now I want to understand what CI/CD is. So I am just gonna pull up what is CI/CD, and then before we even go about what I'm going to do is I've been reading something from Substack from I forget his name, but it was somebody I just been exposed to on how to go about learning something, and that there's 3 steps to this. There is the priming step, the encoding step, and then there's the the retrieval step, right? So I want to learn about CI/CD pipelines, but even before we decide to start learning, we have to ask ourselves why. Why do I want to learn CI/CD pipelines, right? And I want to learn this because it will improve my speed on releasing new updates to adamantite. But also, it should work for my future projects as well. So now that we have a goal in mind, we can then go into the priming step. So I'm gonna do this, and right now I'm writing this in my notebook that I have here. So I think I had a Zerno PPP where I could write it on there, but I'll maybe buy another one so that I can show you guys how I'm thinking. and then maybe y'all can give me a way to improve on this. Maybe you can see how I think at a high level. Sorry, my nose. I don't know. I think I got allergies, maybe. Alright, just lit my candle. So, this priming step, I am going to move this over here while I search up timer, another timer. I am going to put this, I believe, for no more than 10 minutes. And so for these 10 minutes, we are going to prime the information that we're about to take in. So I'm going to skim this page real quickly, and then just write down like keywords that I see, right? So, I see automate. Build. Test. And then release. And we have integration. So yeah, I see a lot of automate. Pipelines. Then we have continuous deployment. Continuous integration, continuous delivery, continuous deployment. Before delivers your pipeline, the workflow from developers checking in their code to its automated build test. So continuous deployment, and then we have continuous integration. Testing, Jenkins workflow, and CI/CD. Code is pushed to Jenkins. So we have Jenkins. It seems as popular. And then we got some other, but they're a bit different. We got 7 minutes, and then I think that's it. I think now I'm gonna do a mind map of how all these connect. So we have continuous integration. Right, so we have continuous integration, and then we have continuous deployment. And other keywords that I wrote down were build, test, and release. Or automate. Put that automate in the center. Automate, and then we have, our word build, we have test, and then release. So in our continuous integration, this is connecting to, we build, and then when we build, we test, and this is all connected from an automate, right? And then this result, and I'm gonna draw like the developer here. The result will go here. The developer will, reiterate off if it failed or not, and then if the test is all good, then we can go to continuous deployment, which will then release the software. This is also automated. And I think that's it. Because before, yes, I am doing a manual build, and I'm doing a manual testing, and then I'm doing a manual deployment for this, but this kind of automates that. Sorry. Any other keywords that I had down? Jenkins, what is Jenkins? And then we have also pipelines, right? So we have pipelines. So pipelines are like the backbone for deployment and integration, if I had to assume. And I think that's kind of everything that I wanted to touch up on. So now we are going to go into the encoding process. So in the encoding process, there's 3 questions I should be asking myself. Is 1, compare, or what is, like, based off my current connections, what is different from what I'm reading? So, yeah. From what I'm reading, what is different from my current understanding? The next question that I should be asking myself when I'm reading this is, how does my mental model change? And the last question is retrieval. How do I plan to use this? How do I plan to use this? So I think now that we have those questions in mind, I'm just going to read. And I'll move this over here. So CI/CD stands for continuous integration, and there's delivery, which I didn't know, and deployment. I don't know what's the difference between that. So I honestly only knew about integration and deployment. I don't know if delivery and deployment are the same. They might not be, but it's practice that automates the process of building, testing, and releasing software. It forms the backbone of modern DevOps by connecting development and operations to deliver applications faster and more reliably. So it automates code integration, testing, and deployment, and reduces manual effort while improving software quality and enable faster, more consistent, and reliable releases. I guess my question is, when it comes to testing, is this like, obviously, the code can run, for me at least, right? The code run as expected, or like, when I say run, like when I run cargo clippy, if there's no errors, then I consider that as like, okay, that's fine. And I always do that even before I make a commit, most of the time. In the past, software delivery is slow and full of manual work. Developers used to create separate feature branches and worked on them for weeks or even months. All branches are merged at the end, which often caused big conflicts or broken builds. Testing and building the code were also manual and usually done at the final stage, so bugs were discovered very late or costly to fix. Deployment was long and risky process, taking days or sometimes weeks because everything was released together in a big update. Testers tested it, okay, so everything split up. With CI/CD, the whole process became faster, automated, more reliable. Developers now commit their code frequently to a shared main branch, which prevents conflicts and ensures a smooth integration. This return releases safer developments, immediate feedback. Already pipelines run tests, builds, and checks as soon as code is pushed, so errors are caught early. Continuous delivery makes sure that the tested code is automatically packaged and ready for deployment. So continuous delivery, I didn't know that, but continuous delivery happens before it makes sure that the code is always ready for continuous deployment. Takes it a step further by releasing it to production without manual steps. This means smaller, frequent updates instead of one big, risky release. Tools like Git, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes automate everything from building to deployment. So yeah, integration. So developers merge their changes back to the main branch as often as possible, daily. Upon every commit, an automated system builds the code and runs unit test. If the test fails, the build is rejected and developers notified immediately. So there's something called unit tests, which I have that's like the backbone, right? And I don't really have any unit tests besides like one or two within adamantite at least. So unit tests happen like is connected to these tests. So I need to investigate more on unit tests and how I should be writing my code on that. And I'm making a connection to the practice of programming because I know there's a chapter in that book regarding unit tests, and like I should always be writing tests for my code, which I really don't do. Continuous delivery. Yeah, it's ready to release any moment after the CI passes. So obviously integration, then delivery comes next. So after continuous integration, delivery will come next. The code is automatically deployed to a staging and testing environment. Extensive integration and load tests are run. The code base is always in a deployable state, but the push to production is a manual decision. Okay. Eliminate human intervention. Same as continuous delivery, but if all elements is passed in staging, code is automatically deployed to production. Requires extremely robust and trustworthy automated testing suites. So, developer goes to CI tool, source if it's detected, changes needed. It's okay, maintainer developer, merge changes. When developer saves their commits to their code on the version control tool, CI starts, takes the new changes, builds the project, runs the tests automatically. Yes, so we build and test. Acceptance, it's deployed to production. Smoke tests. Testing, packaging the source code as soon as it's committed to run. Deployed to a staging environment. In the staging environment, it goes further automated testing such as acceptance, regression. If it's also if it's deployment, it's manual. It's delivery, but if it's automated, it's deployment. Common CI/CD tools. And this is, Jenkins is interesting. So So anytime we commit a change, the step initiates the CI/CD pipeline. Committing code changes ensures they're checked and versioned properly. The version control system detects the new commit, triggers the build process. Automated triggering of the build process ensures that new changes are continuously integrated and tested. Codebase is compiled and built into a deployable artifact, such as a binary. Main event notified of build outcome. Okay. That's it, bro. What is just stated the CI/CD pipeline typically involves containerization. I want to say test stage, but I mean, I guess the build stage. Yeah. But how can I use? What are GitHub Actions? So I know what CI/CD is, but I don't know what GitHub Actions are, and I think that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so this is another, learning thing as well, right? So I should start another timer for 10 minutes, and I'm gonna prep. And if anything, I'm gonna do 5 because I want to do this a lot faster. I want to prep what I'm about to read. So CI/CD, then GitHub Actions. That's a new paper. That's a new note. So GitHub Actions. I'm looking for keywords. So GitHub Actions is, and then this is, so let me just say load. My thing doesn't want to write. Nice. My pencil's not writing. I guess I'll use an actual notebook then. So I need a smaller utensil. CICD. So you can run workflows, events, workflow defined by, and then we have a YAML file. Build, test, pull requests. We have writing workflows, we have workflow, and then we have events. Then we have jobs. Then we have actions. Then we have runners. To create a GitHub action, and yeah, that's what it seems like. And then that finished. Now I'm gonna create a quick mental model of this. So in the center we have workflows. Then we have, our CI, CD. Then we have events. We have jobs. Then we have actions. Then we have runners. From the quick read, I know events are like the hierarchical thing that starts this. So an event happens, and this triggers a job, and the job triggers an action, and the actions, and then all of these workflows are being run within a runner. And then this is a loop. So that's kind of what I think is going on. And this is all built off a YAML file. So that kind of tells how everything should look. So, and then CI/CD is just the equivalence of the workflow. So core concepts and accessible terminology, GitHub Actions, contiguous integration and delivery platform that allows you to automate your build, test, and deployment pipeline. You can create workflows that build and test every pull request to your repository, or deploy merge pull request to production. GitHub Actions goes beyond just DevOps, lets you run workflows when other events happen in your repository. For example, you can run a workflow to automatically add the appropriate labels when someone creates a new issue in your repository. GitHub provides Linux, Windows, macOS virtual machines to run your workflows, where you can host your own self-hosted runners in your own data center or cloud infrastructure. You can configure GitHub Actions workflow to be triggered. So a workflow will trigger when an event happens. So I guess we'll have event happens, arrow points to this workflow, and then this triggers a job. Your workflow contains one or more jobs, which can run in sequential order or in parallel. Each job will run inside its own runner, so the jobs are connected inside these runners, and has one or more steps that either run a script that you define or runs an action. So I'm going to add now, we have scripts within these runners. We'll either run a script or we'll run an action. It's a reusable extension that can simplify your workflow. Workflow is a configurable automated process that will run one or more jobs. Workflows are defined by a YAML file checked in your repository and will run when triggered by an event in your repository, or they can be triggered manually or a defined schedule. Workflows are defined within the .github workflows directory in a repository. Repository can have multiple workflows, each of which can perform a different set of tasks, such as, so we have multiple workflows, building and testing pull requests, deploying your application every time a release is created, like that, adding a label whenever a new issue is created. So I want this, like, I have to kind of figure, and this is where I'm connecting what I'm learning about this, and then I'll see maybe how I'm going to use this. So if we remember back to when we go to implement notes, current to do, I guess whenever I create a new tag, or whenever I merge dev into main, but I don't know if that follows this continuous integration in CD pipeline, right? Maybe I should be, the workflow, right, is every commit into the dev branch should be tested and then merged, tested. If pass, merge to main. And then the only time we want to, whenever we create a new tag for release, that's whenever we want to run all of this stuff here. An event is a specific activity in a repository that triggers a workflow. An activity can originate from a GitHub. When someone creates a pull request, opens an issue, or pushes a commit to a repository, you can trigger to run by a schedule or by posting a REST API. Manually complete a list of events that can be triggered, can be used for a complete list of events. So now I want to investigate that. What type of events would make the most sense for my use case? And then the job. So job is a set of steps within a workflow that is executed on the same runner. Each step is either a shell script that will be executed or an action that will be run. So, and then step, right? A step is either an action or it's either a script, which starts from the job. Each step, yep, or an action that will be run, and then action is this stuff behind here. So, and then, yeah. Since each step is executed on the same runner, you can share data from one step to another. So you have a step that builds your application, followed by a step that tests the application that was built. Different architecture for any job. Actions. An action is a predefined, reasonable set of jobs or code that performs specific tasks within a workflow. Reducing the amount of repetitive code in your workflow files, an action can perform tasks such as pulling your Git repository from GitHub, setting up the correct tool chain for your build environment, and setting up authentication to your cloud provider. A runner is a server that runs your workflow that they've triggered. Each runner can run a single job at a time. GitHub provides to run your workflows. Each workflow executes in a fresh, newly provisioned virtual machine. Git also offer larger runners. You can host your own runners. Okay. And the next steps can help. GitHub can help you automate. Blah blah blah. So create a GitHub action. See using workflow templates. Okay, one sec. I will be back. I kinda wanna get another Diet Coke. guess before we start, going back to this learning thing that I'm trying to distill, where I ask myself 3 questions about kind of what I read to see if I can encode what I just learned. So, what did I know about GitHub Actions? And then based off what I read, has anything changed? So, I didn't know anything about GitHub Actions. I'll say that I had a general idea, probably had to do something with CI/CD pipelines, but it seems that this is a CI/CD, like, stuff to do CI/CD actions within GitHub, right? And I also realized that jobs execute steps, and each step will either be an action or a script. And then how do I plan to use this information? Well, the every script that I've just run, every like bash thing, this is what I want to run. Like, this is kind of what I want automated. And I think, I'm not sure if when I create the tag that this should execute in or this job. I'm not sure. That's kind of where I'm at. So maybe I can go into testing these type of templates. That's kind of where I'm at. And yeah. Sorry. Okay. But I also want to know what events take place, right? Like, what type of events are taking place? Can I get tag be an event? Maybe when I run cargo build release, that would probably be the best option for me. Or when I might create the new tag. But now I have to worry about, regardless if I did, build release, I accidentally run that. Well, how does it know I run build release though? The actions can only be GitHub actions or GitHub change. So it had to be of the 0 point, I have to upload a tag. When a new tag for release is posted, that's when the action should happen. So choosing and using a workflow template. So I prefer not to use a template because, billing. I prefer not to use a template. So let me go back. And I will do writing workflows. But I don't want to follow a template. Yeah. So I want to do an action. Okay, here. Creating workflow templates for your organization. Learn how you can create workflow templates to help people in your team add new workflows more easily. Metadata file describes how the workflow templates are presented to the user when they're creating a new workflow. If it doesn't already, create a new repository, name.github in your org. Workflow templates, create a new workflow file within the workflow templates directory. If you need to refer to a repository's default branch, you can use the default branch placeholder when a workflow is created. Okay. Jobs. Oh, then build, then runs on, I guess, an Ubuntu. Name is required, icon is optional, and the rest are also optional. Okay, right now I'm trying to think like maybe should just dive into making one of these. This is the event, it seems like, and whenever something happens on a certain branch. Okay, wait, configurations? Oh, anchors and aliases. Okay, here. Yes. Workflow triggers are events that cause a workflow to run. For more information about how to use workflow triggers, so you're triggering a workflow. Tag a release. Oh, here. Published, created. I think that's kind of what's going to need to do. I'll do the tag manually. I'll push it to origin. I'll have to manually run cargo build release, and then I needed to make all of this. Maybe I'll just create a script that does this instead of having a CI/CD pipeline. So I am going to, I guess, start this. including branches and tags. So jobs. Workflow run is made up of one or more jobs, which is run in parallel by default. To run jobs sequentially, you need to define dependencies on other jobs. Runs in a runner environment specified by runs on. Yeah, it just needs to run on Ubuntu. Well, we'll see if the self-hosted runner can do what I want it to do. We'll see. I'm kind of lost right now, but I think we just have to write something first. Before I dive into too many things. Just do Ubuntu latest. It needs to be in the .github. So I need to do a make dir -p .github. And then my workflow with the name of your choice. Adamantite binaries. When should it run? I need to find the type of actions. Ooh, it should be when a new release is made. I don't know if I can make it for a tag. I'm gonna search up, can GitHub Actions create a release? Okay. I like this. Alright. I am currently just going to follow this tutorial. So whenever trigger the workflow when a new tag is pushed. Okay. Yeah, gonna just do the script for it. Okay, one second, use the restroom. Okay. Okay, so we will do a name, create, release, then trigger this workflow. So on, then on push, and then when there's a new tags, and then filter if it's a version star dot star dot star. So trigger workflow on new push to tags. build and release. This will runs on Ubuntu latest. Permissions, contents, right, steps, name, checks out your repo code. So we need name, build project, and run / and then build -script.sh. So, and we need to create this script. So mvim / build script.sh. So I believe it's shebang /bin/sh. Right, is that the shebang? Shebang bash, right? Yeah. But in this case, I'll just do bash instead of sh. And then kind of forgot how to write the bash script. Bash scripting 101. Okay, so we want to create, so in here we need to do that. Once we create the tag, right, then we create the tag, and once we push that to origin, we'll do cargo build release. Cargo build release. Then make dir adamantite. But now I need to get the current version. How do I know what the current version is? So I need to go into cargo.toml. I need to go into cargo.toml and check and parse it. This bash scripting parse toml files. So I need to download toml CLI. Okay, So I need to search up how to install a package within runner in GitHub Actions. Okay. Sudo apt install. So nvim, and then on the right side I have the documentation for how to install a package as part of a job. So / build script, nvim dot github workflows. Oh wait, what? Oh, move build into .github workflows and name this release.yml. Then nvim.github.workflows release.yml. So before we build our project, I'm gonna name this step install toml CLI. How to, actually I can just probably check because I have a Ubuntu server. Oh, cargo install toml-CLI is cargo pre-installed in GitHub runners Ubuntu. So I'm gonna have install rust and cargo run, and then it seems I can just do this sudo apt install rust c cargo. Once those are installed, I need to do toml CLI, and this is a Rust project, so So cargo install. So once that, I'm gonna run the next step being install toml CLI, and then we'll do, and I believe the syntax is run cargo install will be run cargo install toml CLI. When the data is a string, the -r option prints it directly for convenience and context like a shell script. Okay, so once the toml is so and then in the build script, right, I need to go into cargo toml and parse it. So what I mean by that is, if we look at our make directory, right, when we do make dir adamantite, I need -v, I need current version, and then unknown Linux GNU. But we need to, it'll be make p, and then this will be in our dist cat in our dist area, right? But I need to get this, I don't know, I need to get the output from toml. So how to get output from, I guess, in shell script. Okay. How to okay. And I'm gonna test this myself to see it actually works in a separate script. So vim/test script.sh, we'll do the shebang bin bash, and then I guess I'm gonna name this version, and this is gonna be equal, and then I'm gonna have the $ symbol, and then I want to run the command toml CLI. Then move this, bring this here. I think I have it as J. I'll move this over here so you can see what I'm doing. So toml.get and then I guess the file. So in this case it'd be cargo.toml space and then the table and then the unit, right? So if I cat cargo.toml, I want to get package and then version. So mvim /test script cargo get cargo.toml package dot version, and then I need to pass the dash r command, I believe, the raw command, but I think it was in the tutorial for this. Maybe I don't. Let's see. And then I want to echo, and then I think here it was parentheses $sign version. Then we do gmod plus x test script and then /test script. Oh yeah, cargo install toml CLI. Let's see. Is there an issue installing? Oh, there we go. And then now we can do toml CLI. Did I just not? Oh, it's called Tom. Okay. And maybe dash raw is better, because I don't need the quotation marks around it. So if I remember, then we'll do gmod again, and then // no. Yes, that's what I need. We're cooking here, we're cooking. And then, so the test script works, so cat test script. Now here, we want to do our build script here, so version will be equal to parentheses $, the command that we want to run, toml get cargo.toml, and then I want to get the package.version, pass the raw command, and then within this, change inside word, how to use the variable again here. And then that should be it. Okay. Run the release command. We create the directory. Create it. Then we need to do a bunch of copies. Let's move this. No, let's move that. Let's move this or this here. Oh, I accidentally just closed that. do all of these commands right here. So paste, and then genocide word. Oh wait, we can just remove this. Oh, but it actually gives us, if I remember, wait, /test script, give us, oh yeah, so we need to add the V. Copy target release adamantite, and we're not CD'd into it, so this should be dist. Then I don't know if tar is installed, but tar should be installed. So yank, paste, delete word, $sign version, delete word, $sign version, that will tar. Then we want to create the SHA-256. Okay, and then, yep. Is that valid syntax? And then generate 256 sum.sh. And then test.document test.txt. Yo, was good. And then dot. And then generate. Then boom /bin/bash SHA-256 sum test.txt, and then SHA-256. Did it work? Oh, it did. Okay. And then build script. Yes. This will be dist. Yep. And then generate binary or tar binaries, right? Boom. That'll do all the build stuff. So I'm gonna do mod shift. I'm gonna move this over here. And then yeah, we need to now worry about move this back. I don't know if I like the idea of it auto-generating release notes. I'll just maybe just rewrite it myself. I think that's probably how I want it. So So I think this is everything that I want to run within the script. It'll get the current version. Oh, and then let's remove this. .github workflows release. Yes, we install it, we build the project, and I want to create the release. I don't want to auto-generate release notes. I want to create the release. Yeah, I want to create the release. Now create the release using the GitHub API or soft props Git. Used for simplicity, it wraps the API, handles such cases like asset uploads. Name, create, release, just create release. I'm gonna search up the soft props action GH. I think I'll do, yeah. But I didn't just view the documentation for the most part for this. Okay. 10. That's interesting. How do I get the current version or the current tag? I could probably use a YAML. Okay, is there a way to configure it in YAML? That's rough. It's just that the variable changes. Hmm. Oh wait, can I access? Can I reference variables? Oh, but it won't work. How to get current tag in GitHub Actions YAML file. dist, 256 cms. Man, this is gonna be a chore. So install Roasting Cargo. Install the Toml CLI. Build the project. Build script, and then I have to make sure I gmod that. Right, so rm test script, and then gmod plus x build script get status. So we'll do get add dot github. Imagine get add all. Wait no, and then remove test.txt. Let's get add. Working for 2 hours, something like that. Okay, so I guess before, so I have the workflow. I want to see what it looks like on the GitHub. I think it should be this one up here. Well, it's because I'm on dev. I think if I go to dev will have actions now, right? Did I not just switch to dev? Okay, so I need to update like all of this. But there is also one thing. I think after 60 seconds I want to move it over 1 so we keep it. So like I need a range. Okay. What I mean by this is I want to set a limit to the size of this, right? So because the x bounds here, so I need to take the difference in between the time from 0. What should I set that to? I mean, it'll be an arbitrary amount of numbers. So we'll increase, the bound here by like 1 if it reaches a point where, if it's the difference, maybe it's after a minute. I noticed it, I think. So 60 seconds. So once it reaches a point where 60 seconds, we'll keep incrementing by the difference. Sorry. So I'll say, how am I thinking about solving this? Right. So we need to take the difference in between this element and this element. So if it's greater than or equal to 1, right? I want to take the difference in between them, and if the difference is greater than 60, I guess, right? So if it's 61, do 61 minus 60. No, it'd be 60, 0. It'll keep increasing, so I guess if the distance in between them is greater than 60, right? So I'm gonna say let diff or distance equal bounds 1 minus bounds 0, and then if distance is greater than 60, I'm gonna mute up my roommate's home, he's making a lot of noise. I'm back, and I think now it should work. So, CD adamantite, get pull, and then I am gonna do cargo run live. Oh, okay, wait. I'm actually testing my Steam now, so we have to do cargo run, then config unit name hightail, and then if I now do live, so I'm gonna see if I can join up on my laptop. Okay. So I'm gonna try to join on my laptop so we can see, but hopefully I can maybe join before the timer starts, and then we can kind of see how it actually works. Then I need to add more labels on the left as well. Am I still in the server? Or did I just crash? Oh no, I did. Wait, ready? Reconnect? But it is working as expected. But we're having issues trying to join. Which is always kind of weird. I don't know if it's just my server. I guess, well, I'm gonna quit this, but it is working, right? There's always a distance in between them. Oh my goodness, I'm doing something. Oh. Okay, I don't know if you noticed, but right there I actually did just join. So right here you can see how it looks. And it should update pretty well. Now, I guess maybe a future thing to add is maybe to scroll through. But I'm gonna run around in hightail now. You kind of see it jumps just a tiny bit, but it only happens every 1 second. So we can actually maybe update how fast this is. Like maybe change it from a second to 500 milliseconds. But then it'd be kind of hard to set the time. Like how I'd have to change like the bottom bar, but maybe we add that as a configuration. But this is what we have. Maybe I should put time and then CPU usage on the as changed to font stuff, but this is kind of what I wanted. Maybe I'm gonna see if there's any more graph settings that we can have. But you know, the CPU usage is never super high. The RAM is always similar. But yeah. And I'm gonna leave now. Firefox has some new terms. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry. I went to get me a Z, another dyed Z. So what I'm gonna do now oh, okay. So I well, what I want to do is I want to change the graph just a teeny bit. So for now, I'm going to change the name from the x-axis to time in seconds. I think that's in time in seconds, or maybe seconds. Yeah, time in seconds. And then the y-axis, I'll name this Hightel, CPU percentage, CPU usage. And then I think I'll add like a percent symbol. And then maybe I'll add 25.0%. And honestly, it never would really come up to this, but I low-key might get my roommate to help me out and join. Okay, CPU usage, default, and I wanted to see if there's a different style for the graph. And these are magic numbers. Like, this is going back to the practice of programming by Kernighan and Pike. I'm using magic numbers here. 60 is just an arbitrary number, but the reason I chose 60 is still magic, right? So 60 seconds should fit on a decent sized terminal. And then marker. I want to see the symbols for Ratatouille. So Ratatouille symbols, docs, bar, block. Where's the dot? Symbols, and then we did. Where's the line? Chart. Yes, symbols, marker. There's only dot. Marker to use when. Dot. Oh, block, bar. I guess I'll look at the other Ratatouille. There's Ratatouille. Get started, and then I want to see examples of apps. Is there better dots for this? It's like a scatter plot, but want to make it configurable, so that's my next thing for. But you know, before that, let's cargo clippy. Added more labels for CPU usage or y-axis. And then let's do a pull. And then let's do a run. Yes, I like the 25% now. That's good. We get the CPU usage. We have chart. The name could probably be a little better. We have time in seconds, and then we have usage. Hypertail CPU resource over time. Maybe there's probably a better name for this. No one knows how to quit now as well, so I need to add like a queue to quit. But now I kind of want to work on a demo. Then maybe another one like, what's half of 25? I need to see something. The Y bounds 0 to 100. Labels in the Y bounds. Because this is what our bounds are, and I put it to 0 to 100. 0 to 50 might be more. Maybe we can add it to decrease it. It might make it a lot better. Because it won't necessarily ever reach 100%. So we might get more points when it's 50. Look, I kind of want to see what it looks like if we do 50. Get add, commit, change bound, change y bounds to 50. That's the max. Quit queue, and then we'll do a pull, and then we'll do a run. The labels are off though now, so 50, what, 5? I think 5 might be pretty good. So we'll do like 10. Yeah. Do like 10.0%, 15.0%. No. 20.0%. 30.0%. 40.0%. Updated labels. Clear, pull, run. And now let's try to join. See how it looks. Maybe it might look a little better. Let's see if I can get my roommate to join. Probably have to try that later because I don't know exactly what version he's on, and this be a lot to set up to get him to try to join. So I'll do it one of these days. So let's try to join. Just click join, and we're joining. So looks like we did go up pretty high that time. 500 milliseconds might be a little bit better because we might get more information. So I might change it to 500 milliseconds. And then look what happens when I go through a portal. It does spike. And I need to try this on a creative server to see. Like, boom, boom. Just me jumping through the server. A lot of CPU usage. But yeah. I think 50% might be a little good. But yeah. What's a good way to I'm not entirely sure what's the best way to name this, but I tell CPU usage over time. Yeah, I'll name it that. So, and then we'll name this. What chart? Like, where is that? Is it here? Hightail CPU change word usage over time. Graph type line. Default style magenta. What do other styles I have? We'll move this over here and then we'll quit. And then we'll search up Ratatouille style docs. Style graph type. Oh, and then style default magenta. Dot magenta. Sorry, just me. Graph type. What graph types do we have? Ratatouille graph. Oh. Honestly, I think that's fine. I think now I want to test out the workflow of the GitHub workflows, right? So I'm gonna merge everything in main. I'm trying to get GitHub up here. So we have GitHub here. We're on dev, git status, git add, boom, git commit dash m, our random update, and then git push cargo clippy just to make sure everything's running. Everything seems to be running correctly. So if I reload this, then now I want to merge this into main, then I want to edit main, and then I want to push that new origin, right? So compare and pull request. Here I'm just going to say added config. Actually, even before I do this, I don't want to do that yet. I need to update the readme. God. Damn, the readme. You need to record a new. You record a new demo. I think I'll just do that now. It shouldn't be too much. So everything's updated. So, and I'm ready here too. So git status. Everything seems to be fine. I'm gonna run live. It's because I don't want to run cargo run live. I prefer to run adamantite. I'll just record it after. All I really need to update within the readme is the new commands. So, and then the new configuration files. So, why? What's going on? My readmes aren't working anymore. But I kind of want to. I have another project that I'm also working on, and let me mod shift 5, 6, and then let me pull up I want to use a readme that's pretty similar to YTX. Yes, so I'm gonna follow this. Okay, you can't see, but on my other monitor I have an example of what my readme looks like. So this is another project I'm working on, YTX, and I need to add usage like that, and adamantite live. I'm gonna change it to adamantite live. I need to rewrite all this, honestly. So here I'm gonna say track CP, track the system, track system resource. And now I need to explain the configuration file. So cat.config. How do people usually? How do CLI explain config to their users? I guess that is a non-tapped market. So before to adamantite now uses a new. So no, I don't need to explain any of that. I'll just say that adamantite searches for PID of Hightail via system empty. If your Hightail server is running as a service, provide Oh, did it die? I think I lost battery. My keyboard died, for context. I need to find another. Let's go buy USB. I'm gonna go buy another USB-C cable. Maybe I'll go to. When I go to Bach, I'm gonna go get some baklava. I'll pass by Best Buy and buy me a new USB-C cable. Oh wait, no man, I have it right here. I just haven't connected it yet. 1 second, guys. Oh, what was a crispy one? Where'd I get this one from? I have no idea, but there we go. Okay. Let's see how the readme looks now. Oh wait, wrong readme. I think I saw that. It'd be like what, /tree/start. how nice it is in a vertical monitor. And then readme, and then to track a system resource, to track CPU over 5 seconds. I'll put as a CSV run. Okay. Let's see. Do okay, I think that's all the changes I want to. Oh my goodness, this is kind of scary. Okay, so I'm gonna now merge into main, which is, that shouldn't be the scary part. The scary part is now seeing if my GitHub workflows actually work. So, oh, there's no metadata. I remember now. I remember that there was some sort of metadata that needed to be created so it appears in the workflow. I forget where. GitHub Actions. And then I'm gonna go to overview. And then I believe using work, no. Managing your work with GitHub Actions, adding labels to issues. And then I don't know, I don't see it there, but let's see once we added configuration file and graph to TUI. And get status, and then get checkout. I'm gonna check out main, get status, get fetch origin. I need to do something before. I need to remove some old code that wasn't working. And then source, and let me do a get And let me merge this dev branch into, let me go to main. I am going to merge main into dev. So I need to create a pull request, new pull request. I need to, yeah, base compare, oh no. I want this to be dev, this to be main. Update get ignore, create pull request, match dev to main, and then yeah, I don't know how good his practice is, but hey. Okay, then git check out dev, git pull, or git fetch origin. Git pull. Your status, okay, and then I need to, what was I changing? Oh, there's a shell script, that's kind of fire. Got a bash script, now it's 98.8% Rust and 1.2% bash scripting. That's cool. Okay, alright. I kind of forgot. What was what was I doing? Oh, well, we do have a workflow here. So we have our workflow, and then we gotta get ready for the tag creation. Oh, yeah. And then I need to get status. Need to remove the old way that we're find PID of hightail here. Because I commented everything out here. Yes. This code will never run anymore. So my goodness, I was muted. Oh, my fingers are crossed. I would say, yo, this gotta work, bro. This does not work, bro. It's cooked. Oh, build a project failed. I wonder what I did wrong. Does the runner? There's no dot slash build dash script. Oh, did I spell it wrong? 5 boom boom ls build dash script build dash script dot sh. Oh, does the runner not have? No. Create resource for run failed for version 0.2.1 branch. No. Does the runner have my code though? I don't know. Does runner in GitHub Actions have the GitHub? Oh, because this is not tracked. But we make it anyways. So I should clone a repository. Do I need to clone my repository within a runner? I don't know. Oh, okay, guys, I figured it out with the help of the powerful AI. So, I did not follow the tutorial completely. Where is it? Get the current push tag in GitHub. Where is it? God, I lost it. Wait, is it? Was it in? Okay, I found it. Here, guys, and then we gotta go to .github workflows release, and we missed out the most simple thing to do. We forgot to check out the code. Name checkout code uses actions slash checkout at v4. The status git commit dash m added checkout to workflow. Now if we go back here, let's rerun. Oh wait, let's go back to here. Let's see. Wait, no, it doesn't have the new, I don't know if I have the checkout. Yeah, it doesn't have the new one. Yeah, it doesn't have the new checkout code. Right, doesn't have the checkout code. Checkout space code action slash checkout at version 4. Yeah, hopefully this actions file will update. How do I make sure GitHub workflow uses latest file? Oh, I need to create a new version. Yeah, I need to create a new version. How do I get rid of a tag? Would it delete a tag? How do I remove or delete? Yes. Why is it not working? No, you don't hear it. That's loud. Really? Okay. Do I just restart this? Maybe I need to change the way it's. Yeah, cause I don't know what it's doing. I really don't know. Can't even cancel it. Yeah. Rerun. Let's see. Okay, there. We're good now. Just hum. And at the end, it's usually pretty fat whenever it gets to the failure. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Shit, this one takes for some reason forever. But wait, build project. We're building. So the script worked. Now the question is, the directory will make correctly, but I don't know about the release of assets. That's fine. Wait. Is it done? Wait, it failed? Wait, why did build project fail? Oh, did I... Is this me? Is this bad on me? Don't tell me I messed up the nvim.github workflow. No. This was on build project, build and release. So build project. Oh, when I ran top, is my script wrong? It is. Alright, we're gonna have to do another failed one, but it's fine. We'll have to delete this tag. It's fine. We'll have to delete the tag, and then I'm gonna do git tag -d version 0.2.1 git fetch origin, and then git status, git add, git commit, update build script with correct paths, git tag version 0.2.1, git push origin version 0.2.1. Another one. Alright, let's see if we get it to work this time. So, let's see. Let's go to actions. Let's see how it's doing. Come on, bro. This is what computer science is all about. Let's mod shift 6 to this one. And then, yes. Okay, let's see. Sorry. Okay, so we're building. Right now we're building our project. I ran cargo. Pretty sure I just ran the script. So we're running the build script. Spawn. Actually, wait. I could probably see adamantite. And then we can do bat build script, so we can kind of see what's going on, right? So we ran cargo build release. Then once this finished building release, we're gonna get the version. Then we're gonna make the directory, and then we're gonna copy everything. Oh, it worked. Job completed. Wait, did it complete for real? Wait. Oh no. There's two V's. No. Oh, did I? Did I put two V's here? I did. I can remove that. Wait. Wait. Did this work? Releases? Because it looks a lot different than my other ones, right? Because here you can kind of see everything. But I guess they changed it. I can set this as a pre-release. Oh. This is not even working. Oh, okay, so nothing actually was pushed. But I wonder why. Oh, it's because the name was wrong, right? Yes, the name was wrong. Okay. We will now, the build worked, but it didn't work correctly because there's no way to check it, so we're almost there, guys. This was a failure, unfortunately, but we will delete this release. Trash. And then how do I set a pre-release? I need that. Maybe latest. I mean, latest is cool too, but I don't know. I feel like I haven't reached even a pre-release state with this. Let's search up. Soft props. No. Oh, I can notify myself. That's kind of cool. Okay, right now I'm looking at my other monitor and I'm looking at doing this mark as a draft, mark as a pre-release, optional. Okay, yes, I want to do pre-release, so and then let me go over here to delete a tag as well. So I'm gonna delete this tag. Alright, so and then GitHub, but also dist 256 sums also failed. If we go to the update the script, the output details, no, here, and dist 256 sums does not match any files. Are we creating this in the build script? Envim.build, no, envim build script. SHA-256 sums. SHA-256. Oh my, SHA-256 sums. SHA-256 sums. These with, and then files, and then I also want to include as a pre-release, so pre-release. Oh wait, no. fixed work flow to address correct files. And then we deleted the tag, so get tag -d version 0.2.1, get tag version 0.2.1, get push origin version 0.2.1. And then if we go back here, we will now see details. And then now we will, bat again. So this should work correctly. Dist SHA 256 sums. Oh, wait. No, that's fine. Should be fine. Yes, the dist SHA 256 sums doesn't matter. So right now we're doing this, we're still building, and this should run instantly. Like copy, and then we tar ccf tar.gz adamantite version, then yep, the version, yes, uploaded. Oh my god, I think it worked. Wait, did it work? Bang! And I guess now the real test is to download them, right? So I will, and then how to test a tar.gz, how to list inside a tar.gz, how to list inside a tar.gz. Yes. So we will download, and then download, and then we'll do tar ztvf downloads adamantite, and then we have two versions, so we have version 0.2, yes. Can I move this out the way? And yes, we have the license, we have readme, we have the license, and then we have adamantite. And then we can do, how do I do the sum? Oh, we do how to test SHA 256 sums against something. Okay, so use the. I'll be back. I need to use the restroom. Oh, do I need to? I need to. One time I got a Z adamantite, and then SHA-25252526 dash C. Downloads SHA. I think what I'll do is I'll move the build script. I can't move it to. How to open a tar. Oh, it creates the disk directory. Yeah, I don't want that functionality. So I know what I can do. I can just change my script. So rm adamantite cd, in this case z adamantite, and then build script. I don't even gotta make this anymore. I don't gotta make the disk. I just gotta. And then .github workflows release. And then another tag. Okay, this should be the final set. Okay, that is get add boom get commit dash m. All right. Let's see how this comes out. I'm gonna prep my download SHA, and then yeah, we should have everything ready. It's been a long stream. Almost, I think, yeah, 4 hours, and I think that's honestly good. I feel like I got a lot. I learned a lot about GitHub Actions for the most part. Even though I kind of just copied from a tutorial, but I feel like now I understand it a lot better than if I had to go about it and like learn it from the ground up. Now I learned what I needed to know, and now I know how to build script. So I know the route, and this, I mean, let's see. Yep. Now let's see. Then we'll download, and then SHA-256 on dash C. Download SHA. Oh, and then boom, it works, and we're good, and that's it. So and then now I can personally edit this. So this, and I think what I'll do is I'll look at my previous ones, right? So I'll have my changes. User can now adamantite, and that is done. Update release. Alright. Well, I think that's everything I wanted to learn today. So, thank you guys for tuning in. And if you're ever watching this, you are loved.